Hi guys, in this video I'm going to be taking you shopping at Paper Source, which is one of my favorite places to shop for stationery, although it is kind of overpriced. I always like to come here and see what they have in season, and I knew that for Valentine's Day they would have some really cool stuff. So for Valentine's Day this year, I wasn't sure if my kids would be exchanging anything at school because of COVID, but they are going to do a Valentine exchange. So I know that some of you guys are not from the US, but what we do here, and I also did this when I was a child, is we exchange Valentine's Day cards with our classmates at school. And so for my kids' class, and I think when I was younger as well, there is a rule that if you bring cards to school, you have to bring one for everybody so that nobody feels left out. And you can get Valentine's cards pre-made for classrooms at the grocery store or at Target. And when I was little, we would just give out cards, and like maybe out of the set I would look for my favorite ones and give those to my favorite friends or a cute boy in my class. My husband and I recently were talking about Valentine's Day, and he was pressuring me to tell him the name of the boy that I liked when I was in elementary school. And I don't know why, but I felt so shy and I didn't want to tell him. So I made my husband tell me who his crush was first, which is so silly because like we didn't know each other, but I mean it's just ridiculous. I mean, we're so old now. That's ancient history. But I don't know, it just made me feel really shy to tell him. So I probably gave that boy like one of the nicer Valentines in the pack, but it wasn't anything special or out of the ordinary. Not like on Charlie Brown, where Charlie Brown makes the redheaded girl a really nice Valentine. I may be remembering the Charlie Brown stories incorrectly. I'm not really sure. But Valentine's Day wasn't really super related to love when I was younger. I mean, it was an opportunity to give your crush a special card, but it was just more of a fun opportunity to exchange cards with your friends. And sometimes people would put like one or two of those little conversation hearts in the envelope and seal it up. And I mean, in the age of COVID, I can't imagine anybody putting non-wrapped candy into an envelope and anybody still eating it. Or like sometimes they might put a piece of chocolate, like a Dove chocolate or Hershey's chocolate or something like that. But it wasn't like really fancy. People didn't get all crazy and use puns and things like that. But now I think people do a little bit more, because nowadays when you go to the grocery store in the US, around Valentine's Day they'll have packs of candy which are made to be given to the entire class. So it'll have a space where it says to and from, and then you can write like out your classmates' names. And so my daughter did go to an American school in Seoul for a couple of years, and so she had this Valentine's Day exchange, and she came home with a lot of candy on Valentine's Day. They decorated a box and exchanged candy or cards, and so it's kind of rare that people will just give a card now. I think they'll usually attach a piece of candy to it or give candy in place of the card. So like I said, I wasn't sure if my kids would be doing a Valentine's Day exchange, but this year Valentina's teacher asked that we not give out any food items, she just wanted us to give out cards. And she said if we plan to give out anything other than cards, to please make it not a food item. So I didn't want her to just give out cards. I wanted to find something else that she could give out with the cards. So I just looked on Amazon for party favors in bulk, and I found some slap wraps that were quite inexpensive. And then we made this card, which I printed out on my computer on just paper that I already had, like neon cardstock, and it says Slappy Valentine's Day. And so my kids they were really excited to assemble those. We did it way before Valentine's Day, so we were ready. But anyway, at Paper Source, as you can see, they have some really cool packs of things to give out at school. And I think it would have been nice to do this, but this is also like way more expensive than what I spent on the slap wraps on Amazon and printing things from my home computer. but they also just had some really cute things here. So sometimes I think Valentine's Day gets a bad reputation because if you're single or you don't have a boyfriend or on Valentine's Day, maybe you feel left out. But I think nowadays people are doing a great job of being inclusive and having Galentine's Day. And personally, I just like any opportunity to celebrate a holiday with my kids and do something fun, eat a sweet treat, decorate our wall. Behind our table, we always put up some sort of banner for whatever holiday or whatever season it is. And so I like to go all out and celebrate Valentine's Day. We make heart-shaped cookies and decorate them, and we just have a little party at home. When it was just my husband and I, we probably did something romantic, like go out to a nice dinner or something like that and exchange gifts. We always got each other really nice gifts, but now it's sort of a family affair because we have 2 new members of our family and we all want to be part of the celebration. So we all just celebrate Happy Hearts Day and we do something fun with our family together. But let me know in the comments below if you guys do anything to celebrate Valentine's Day, and if so, what do you do? I think in Japan and Korea, Valentine's Day is a day where women and girls give men a chocolate or some sort of gift, and then on White Day, the men reciprocate and give a gift to women. So girls don't receive presents on Valentine's Day in Japan and Korea. Hey guys, I just wanted to take a moment and thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of members across 150 countries. It's a place to get inspired, learn new skills, and put those skills to work in impactful ways. So lately I've been really into flower arranging, and I recently took this class by Michael and Derek Putnam, who are the owners of a flower shop, and I learned how to make these stunning centerpieces. So I used some flowers that I got from Trader Joe's and some of the techniques that I learned in the class. So they go through things like how to prep flowers to preserve their longevity, which is really useful, and also how to choose colors that are complementary and that will look good together in a bouquet. And they also talk about how to arrange the flowers in a way that just spills over the vase. It's so lovely. And my daughter Sienna was also really inspired to do a flower arrangement, so she decided to try as well. And it was really fun. It looks like one of those bouquets that might cost like $50 to $100, but I think we spent less than $10 using just regular flowers from Trader Joe's. I'm definitely gonna do it again. It just makes me so happy to put together those flowers. If you guys are interested in trying Skillshare for free, make sure to use my link below. The first 1,000 people to click the link will get a 1-month trial of Skillshare Premium membership. So I rarely ever go to brick and mortar stores anymore, and if I do, it has to be really special because ever since the pandemic started, we've been able to get things delivered to our house, and now I will just get anything and everything delivered to my house just to save myself the time of going to a store, especially when it comes to places like Target and the grocery store. I mean, I do enjoy walking around Target, and I love looking at like the home decor section and especially the seasonal section, but it ends up being a really big time suck, and I also end up spending way more money than I anticipated. I mean, I think we've all had the experience where we go into Target for like some dish soap and then you come out with a whole cart full of stuff. But now I have the Target app on my phone, and whenever I need something, I'll just add it to my cart. So we need more laundry detergent, so I'll just add that to my cart right away. And then at some point I'll have enough stuff in my cart to get free shipping. I think it's like $35 worth of stuff, and then I'll make a purchase. And so I spend a lot less money that way. I mean, every once in a while I do end up spending more time on the app than I need to, just kind of looking at stuff. Mostly it's kids' clothes or holiday goodies like Valentine's Day treats, but I think generally I end up spending less money that way. And the only thing is, the Target app can be a little bit misleading because below certain items they'll say if you spend $15 on this group of products, you can get a $5 Target gift card for free. But that only applies if you use same-day pickup or at-home delivery services, which you have to pay $9.99 for. So they don't want you to have a bunch of stuff, shipped to your house. They want you to come and pick it up in order to get the discount. So I wish that they wouldn't advertise that below the products, because it does tend to be a little bit misleading. They used to offer those discounts for products that you could get shipped to your house, but then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they decided not to offer those anymore. And I can understand why, because there is an additional cost of shipping, which is probably significantly higher than having somebody pick up their items. But I just wish that they wouldn't bait you like that, Now that I kind of know to look out for it, they don't always get me, but there was a transitional period where I would spend a lot of time trying to find extra stuff to meet that $15, $25, $50 threshold, and only to realize that it was only available for store pickup or same-day delivery and not for shipping. So I would have just wasted 20 minutes of my time when I could have just gotten that one item that I needed and purchased it whenever I had $35 in my cart. But now that I've fallen for that trick multiple times, I just try to get only what I need and then leave, get out of the app, just close it, put the thing in your cart and then close the app and do something else. I mean, nowadays when I go into the store and I have to wait in line, especially if it's something that I can just as easily buy online, I start feeling really antsy and annoyed. And I get really annoyed at myself for even coming to the store in the first place, and I vow never to go there again in person. So today, for example, I decided to go to Anthropologie because I had been eyeing these agate coasters for a project that I'm working on. And I also have wanted them for a long time just to put them in my home cafe. But when I read the reviews online, I don't know how many months ago, people commented that they weren't as pretty in person. And I think that makes sense because, they're all a little bit different. They're just cuts of a particular piece of quartz. So, they could vary in color and quality. So I wanted to go into the store and pick out the particular pieces that I liked. So my Anthropologie is 25 minutes from my house. I drove there, but on the way I stopped at the library and I picked up some books that I had on hold, and then while I was there I got distracted and I was like, well, I'll get a bunch of books for my kids because we were supposed to go to the library today, but we didn't. So I spent kind of a long time there, and then by the time I got to the Anthropologie store, it was about 6 p.m. I mean, it was 6 p.m. exactly, and as I reached the door, I was reaching out to open the handle, and I saw this worker approaching the door, and she opened the door first, and I was like, oh, how nice, she's opening the door for me. But she opened the door a crack, and she said, I'm so sorry, we close at 6 p.m. And I just had nothing to say. I was absolutely shocked, because I had driven 25 minutes on a Saturday, my day off, when I could be doing things with my kids or editing videos. So it was a total waste of time. And that is a perfect example of why I don't go to brick and mortar stores anymore. Although maybe, it's the phenomenon of people not going to brick and mortar stores that's causing them to close earlier. Maybe they don't get enough traffic in the evening. I don't know. But that was a really annoying experience, and I just decided I'm going to do without the agate coasters. So it ended up being better in the long run because I saved myself about $50 or however much I would have spent on those. And instead I got books for free at the library. I did manage to sort of salvage the trip because I did pick up food for us while we were there, so it was okay, but still I was kind of annoyed. So the Anthropologie store that I go to, it actually sells furniture, so I was planning to go around and look at the furniture. And that's also something you want to see in person if you can before you buy it. But yeah, that was really annoying. And it just reminded me of why I don't like going to brick and mortar stores anymore. unless the store has something really remarkable, like really nice, pretty displays or unique products, or if they don't sell online, I generally try not to waste my time going in person, because you have to drive there, you have to find parking, you have to wait in line, and I mean, there is something really nice about being able to see things in person, but for things like toilet paper or tissues, I find no joy whatsoever in going to the store and buying those things, so I'll always opt to get them delivered. Anyway, I guess that's just one of the ways that COVID has just fundamentally changed the way in which we live our lives. So I think one of the reasons that I get so annoyed when I spend time doing something that I don't really want to do is because lately I've been having this sense of awareness that there's just not enough time for me to do all the things that I want to do. And the way that you spend your time is the way that you spend your life. So when you're doing these mundane tasks from minute to minute, it doesn't really seem like much, but if you look at the big picture, I mean, when I look at my kids and I look back at the old pictures and see how quickly they've grown up, I realize that every moment that I'm spending that's not with my kids or doing something fun that makes me happy, then that thing had really better be worth it. So now that I work full time and I also run this YouTube channel, I have a lot less free time, and I want to spend my weekends wisely. I don't want to spend my weekends waiting in line or doing something that doesn't really bring me joy. And if that means getting my toilet paper and my laundry detergent delivered to my house rather than going to the store and carting it home, then why not? So I'm curious to hear what you guys think. I feel like time is our most valuable resource, and nowadays everyone is competing for your attention. And if you don't think that's true, then just take a look at Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. I mean, sorry, I'm guilty of this. I'm trying to take your attention too. Every time I post a new video and ask you guys to watch it, I'm trying to get your attention as well. Every podcast, every Instagram post, it's competing for your attention. And so I think that the important thing is to be conscious of that. You know, sometimes these other things add value to our lives. Maybe you learn something new, or you get a new piece of information, you find something cool that you might want to do or experience, and so in that way it enriches your life, and maybe it's worth it. But I think that it's important to be mindful and be conscious of the way that you're spending your time. And so that's what I try to do. I mean, every once in a while I have to delete social media from my phone and just detox, because I feel like I'm spending more time than I want to on these platforms, and maybe I would rather be doing something else, like drawing with my kids, or doing an art project with my kids, or cooking something really delicious, or reading a book. So I mean, social media is not awful, it's not the devil, but it's something that it's easy to like consume your time without you even realizing it. So I think that it's important to be conscious of it, and it's something that I also struggle with and I try to balance, but it can be really difficult. Anyway, just some food for thought. As always, I want to give a big thank you to my Patreons and channel members: Michelle, Safarino, Danielle, Catherine, V, Pinball Review Repairs, and Aaron, as well as Sanyo, Cam, and Crafty Avino. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.